Welcome to the D-Series Spectacular. We're coming to you from the St. Paul Civic Center Arena in St. Paul, Minnesota, a place that has been gone for over 25 years now, lives on in BeamNG. The development team over at Beam Motorsports is breaking new ground with their rendition of the D-Series pickup trucks in BeamNG and working on brand new superchargers for the monster trucks. Here is a sample run to show the difference between the two new options coming to a screen near you. Drivers will really need to test their tuning minds to figure out how to squeeze the most out of their monster engines to be as competitive as possible. I'm Benjamin Butler, and you're watching Beam Motorsports, where racing matters. Now over to my colleague, Austin Spence.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be taking over here. What's going on, everybody? It's Austin Spence. It's good to see you guys. And yes, we have been hard at work behind the scenes with, obviously, the Bobcat designs to bring you guys what you're seeing. We are finally taking the Leaper mod and putting them with the Gavril D-Series, along with other in-game trucks and vehicles that are with BeamNG.drive. As you can see, we have quite a variety of wheelbases, which is kind of the big turning point, the main focus that the Bobcat designs put into this portion of the mod. As you can see here, we got Big Dually and Heatwave. These were actual die-cast long back in the way back in the day, before I think even micro machines were even really considered a thing. So these are paying tribute to those that came out, and we're going to see first round of racing with the Stage A supercharger. Is it going to be short wheelbase with Heatwave, or is it going to be Big Dually with the long wheelbase? Both trucks are lined up at the ready and ready to do battle here in St. Paul, Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Because here they go. Up and over the roller, up and over the first set of cars, and it looks like it's going to be almost a photo finish. Heatwave by about a tire, getting on the brakes a little bit there, making sure he doesn't go end over end into that pole there. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the things that we've been doing behind the scenes. We understand your frustrations when it comes to why we haven't been putting a lot of content out. Well, there's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes when it comes to the extended wheelbase mod, and you're going to see a couple things that are not quite finished, but this is the best part of the mod that we currently have, and we are still developing. As you can see, as Big Dually is going back to his parking space, the lower four links and the drive shaft is not extended fully, but the fact of the matter is everything that you can put on an in-game vehicle, as we're showing Party Patrol coming out here, which is a Gavril H-Series, the big conversion van. You can add the bumper, you can add some brush guards, the bumpers, you can change the interior, you can change the lights, you can change on the roof rack. Everything that you can do on a standard in-game BeamNG vehicle, we're wanting to make sure is implemented still when we make this part of the mod go public. Again, this is another extended wheelbase Party Patrol. This is one of the longest trucks that we have in the mod so far, and Roadhog is the shortest. This would be the equivalent, if you've ever been an old school fan of monster trucks, this is kind of the equivalent of like those that ran the Ford Rangers, the Broncos, the early Broncos back in the day. Looks like we had a little bit of a jump there from Party Patrol, as he's just going to, I'm not sure if this is considered a false start or if he's just trying to tease old Roadhog over there. But he's just going to crawl over the cars. I'm not sure if that's considering giving himself an advantage or disadvantage. We just received confirmation that they're just going to reline it up. I guess there was a glitch in the system when the drivers was waiting on the go. Must have heard something, bad hearing, who knows. But again, this is just one of the things that we're wanting to showcase to you guys, that, you know, we've been very hard at work behind the scenes as to all the things that we're wanting to bring into BeamNG with the Leaper mod, with Beam Motorsports. So the three vehicles that we currently have that are being worked on with the multiple different variations of different frame sizes, wheelbases, is the H-Series, the D-Series, and you saw in the preview video was the Roamer as well. Obviously, we're looking to get other vehicles implemented as well, but other than that, here we go. It is long wheelbase and short wheelbase. Party Patrol with a demanding lead. Roadhog a little bit out of control. Party Patrol is going to be moving on to the next round. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering, why is it that these trucks look like they're going so much slower than what you are used to seeing? Well, that is kind of one of the reasons why we went ahead and made this different variation when it comes to Supercharger A, Supercharger B. Not everyone that ran these trucks back in the day had top of the line, blown alcohol type engines. So depending on what you and your friends are wanting to do, as far as wanting to do, recreate a series, recreate an event, we have that option to where you have an engine that is more dialed and tuned to where it acts and performs. It's a bit slowed down to where it recreates and gives you the visual of being an old school traditional monster truck show. When we move on to the second part of our show here in St. Paul, Minnesota, you are going to see that we completely switched these trucks up to 11. You're going to see a vast difference in power when we switch from Supercharger A to Supercharger B. So coming out next, we have the Back 40 Bruiser. This is kind of the equivalent of a Centurion Ford Bronco, the quad cab, extended cab, and then we also have an extended cab flare side representing the Beam Motorsports actual. That is our pulling scheme that we decided to slap it on the Leaper monster truck for, just for fun. Why not? And let me tell you, these behemoths, when you have the big extended wheelbase, these things are heavy. And you can see once these drivers go green, you can definitely see it in the performance that they have here. And there they go, Back 40 Bruiser taking on Beam Motorsports. And it comes down to the wire, and it looks like Back 40 Bruiser is going to barely edge out the Beam Motorsports house truck by a hair, by a fraction of that bumper on that Gavril D-Series pickup truck. Coming out next, Back 40 Bruiser is going to be taking on Heatwave in the semifinal. So this is another extended wheelbase quad cab. I would almost say a dually. We do not have dual 66-inch tires. I know that was a thing that did happen back in the day. It may be in the works. We'll see. But one of the vast variations as to why we are doing this extension, why we are wanting to do this, is because, well, you can only do so much with the trucks that we have currently in game. There's so many great trucks from back in the day that we would love to pay tribute to, but we can't simply because the wheelbase isn't there, such as your Ford Rangers or your extended cabs. Something like Lone Ranger all the way to Texas Toy. Anyway, short wheelbase, long wheelbase, Heatwave versus Back 40 Bruiser. Who's going to come out on top? Drivers are waiting for the green light, and there they go, up and over the roller, over the first set of cars. Heatwave seems to be gaining a little bit of ground, but it's not going to be enough. Back 40 Bruiser getting a little close there to that pole. It looks like Back 40 Bruiser is going to be moving on to the finals. And again, this is just to showcase you guys. This is just the beginning stages. This is Supercharger A that we've been talking about. This is quite literally the lower end. So this is roughly anywhere between 600 to 800 horsepower, depending on all the mods and everything that you fine-tune with your engine. And right now, this is only implicated with the 454 Big Block Chevrolet and all the 454 Big Block Chevrolet variants. You cannot do this just yet with the 426 Hemi, with any of the diesels, with any of the Fords, unfortunately. So right now, we are just showcasing what we have currently so far and what to look forward to once we get further down the line with this mod. We definitely want to know what you guys want to see in the comments. We want to do Ford Rangers. We want to do S10s. We want to do the Dakotas. We want to do every quad cab variant, every extended cab variant that you can think of some of the trucks that you grew up to know and love. And dare I say, me and some of the guys in the chat would 100% love to see potential monster truck limos. I mean, how cool would that be? I'm sure some of you guys in the comments would love to see a tour where we just do nothing but Leaf Spring monster truck limos. But ladies and gentlemen, we got another long wheelbase matchup. It's Party Patrol taking on the Beam Motorsports house truck, who comes back as fast loser, who's going into the finals to face off against Back 40 Bruiser. Up and over the roller, and it looks like a weird bounce over there from a house truck. And it looks like it's gonna be Party Patrol. Beam Motorsports house truck loses the right front tire. No worries, we got some stop leak in the back, but it looks like the Party Patrol is going to be moving on to the final round to take on the Back 40 Bruiser. So we're going to kind of limp Beam Motorsports house truck a little bit here. So this is one of the other things, if you haven't been really paying much attention to a lot of the updates we had in the mods, normally a lot of the things that would happen whenever a tire would get punctured, the tire would almost completely disintegrate itself off the wheels and off the axle housing of the mod to where it completely, let's just say it would kill the immersion of the video. The Bobcat designs work night and day. I could not tell you guys how many times we would jump in the Discord and kind of brainstorm, and Bobcat was in there figuring the code out as to how to get the tires to actually deflate as if they were to, you know, actually deflate or go flat in a real life scenario. Ladies and gentlemen, we are to our final and last lineup here. It is Party Patrol in the left lane, Back 40 Bruiser in the right lane. It is the battle of the big beast here tonight at St. Paul Civic Center. Who's going to come out on top? Up and over the roller they go, and they are dead even over the first set of cars. Who's going to be coming to the finish? It is going to be Back 40 Bruiser to the finish line. Back 40 Bruiser is going to be our winner here for the Supercharger A class here at the St. Paul Civic Center. But ladies and gentlemen, don't go away just yet. We still have one more round of Beam Motorsports Leaf Spring Monster Truck at the Gavril Monster Spectacular, and it's about to get switched up to 11, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Everybody, this is the part of the video that you have all been waiting for. So like we said, we're doing two different shows, racing events here at the St. Paul Civic Center, which as you guys are seeing this is currently kind of in a beta configuration. Bobcat Designs is doing everything they can to recreate multiple different versions of this exact track as a replica, as a lot of very historic events have taken place here. Now, when I say we're turning up to 11, we mean 11 because we put Supercharger B on all of our monster trucks this evening. So you're going to see a completely different form of racing here. And the green has been lit, and both trucks are hammered down, full throttle, up and over the cars. And it looks like that was almost too close to call. Heatwave came down with a flat tire. But no worries, we got some fix a flat in the back, and it looks like Heatwave is going to be our winner for that race, and we'll be moving on. If we have any closer races than that, I'd be scared for the Beam Motorsports house truck. And yes, we did change this game around because honestly, when you're recording these videos, you need something to kind of defer and make sure you can figure out which is which. So we decided to throw the white scheme on the Beam Motorsports house truck so that way we can tell the difference between which show is which. Don't judge me. Hey, I'm just trying to make sure everything stays organized. Anyway, we're moving on to our next round of races here. So we put Supercharger B on the Back 40 Bruiser and the Roadhog. So this is, again, we have all the power in the world. So we're talking 1,200 to 1,800 horsepower, depending on the tunes that you put in these trucks. And you really get to see how much of a difference that's going to make depending on the wheelbase. Obviously, you can tell we are in a very small arena here at the St. Paul Civic Center. You don't have a lot of room for shutdown, but you have all the power that you can ask for. Probably ask yourself, well, a lot of power in such a small arena doesn't sound like a good idea. Well, you're 100% correct about that, because we got both these drivers lined up. They're ready to go green. We can only assume what's going to happen. It's Roadhog versus Back 40 Bruiser. Who's got what it takes to move on to the next round of racing? And they are off. Roadhog flying up over the roller. He skywheels over the first set of cars. He's up on his side, rips the right front tire off, almost rolls into Back 40 Bruiser. And Roadhog is now scrap metal with that passenger door just dangling barely on one hinge left of that poor black Gavril D-Series pickup truck. But that's exactly what we mean when you have all the power in the world. You don't got a lot of shutdown. Only means one thing can happen. So when we say we're turned up to 11 here with this event, we ain't lying. We're talking each and every one of these trucks have got 1,200 to 1,800 horsepower, big block Chevrolets under the hood. We started the video off with anywhere between 600 to 850 horsepower, kind of a little mild, a little tame, still somewhat realistic. Well, we will go from mild to absolutely wild. So coming out next, we've got Big Dooley coming out of the pits. As you know from the first event, he kind of got knocked out early, and he's going to be lining up against our one of the biggest. Actually, I think this is the only truck that rivals in length when it comes to the wheelbase length wars that we kind of got going on. So it's going to be Big Dooley taking on Party Patrol here in round 1 of racing in our event number 2 here at the Gavril D Series Spectacular. Both trucks are tuned to the absolute brim, and the reason why we are wanting to showcase this to you guys is because when we come around, we start doing more community events and we want to get more people involved. We emphasize heavily on tuning and control and reliability of your truck. You can have all the power in the world, but you can only do so much with it. We still have the tuning aspect. We still have different tire variants I believe we're working on as well. But all the power only means so much if you can control it. And as you can see, Party Patrol kind of getting out of control a little bit. Big Dooley is going to be moving on to the next round. Starting to notice a little bit of a common occurrence here with a Big Dooley truck, even from the very first event. He keeps popping tires, so we're not entirely sure if that has to do with the crush car variants that we have here tonight, or if that's some of the code. I think it's actually been the exact same corner every single time that Big Dooley has came out and has popped one of his tires. So Big Dooley's going to be moving on to the next round. Party Patrol, I believe, has been knocked out from this event, so I believe currently our fast loser is going to be the Beam Motorsports house truck, the white variant that we have. And as you can see, Roadhog is no longer going to be coming out. Roadhog is roadkill at this point with how that truck has been driven. We were able to get Big Dooley back up and running. So we have got our first round winner, Heatwave. The only other short wheelbase truck we have that is currently remaining. Hopefully I don't jinx it. Roadkill went a little bit too wild and crazy and out of control to where he ended up completely mangling that black Gavril, that beautiful, beautiful black Gavril D Series truck. And unfortunately had to be scraped, picked up, shoveled off the floor here at the St. Paul Civic Center and is out in the back and is on its way back to the scrapyard. Well, we got the Big Dooley and we got Heatwave lining up. Battle of the wheelbases, long wheelbase, short wheelbase. 15 to 1800 horsepower. Who has got what it takes? Who's going to be able to keep that power under control and move on to the next round? Big Dooley, Heatwave. Who is going to be moving on? Both drivers are waiting on the green light. And Big Dooley by, well, a truck's length. Oh no! Heatwave's throttle got stuck. Oh man. Heatwave's throttle got stuck wide open and went right into that concrete barricade. An unfortunate end to the Heatwave truck. Unfortunately, that's going to do it for our short wheelbase trucks. I guess, as the kids say, short kings. Please don't fire me. I need this commentary job. Anyway, and look at there. Big Dooley, again, with a pop tire. This time it's in the rear. And the crew is definitely getting its workout cut for him as far as putting any kind of fix-a-flat in these giant 66-inch tall tires. Well, we are literally down to our, guess, 4 trucks that are still remaining. And we're going to be moving on to our next round. Beam Motorsports house truck is going to be taking on the Back 40 Bruiser. Winner of this race will be going to the final round and facing off against Big Dooley. Now, as we saw in round 1, Beam Motorsports barely got knocked out by Heatwave. Looks like Back 40 Bruiser is kind of taking something out of Party Patrol's playbook when it came to our first event, just slowly crawling over almost all of the cars. I'm not sure if that is considered cheating. We'll have to definitely look at the rule book for reference. Making sure he's not lined up nice and straight and square before he's ready to go racing. But Beam Motorsports and Back 40 Bruiser, this is going to be a heavy hitter race. Both trucks are on the converter. They are waiting on the green light. Who is going to move on to the final round of racing here at the St. Paul Civic Center? The Motorsports house truck flies up. He's doing a wheelie. He's put in a slap wheelie, pop tire. He's up and over. He flips it over. He's into the concrete. Oh no. Beam Motorsports house truck is an absolute mangled mess from pop tires, shattered windows, scrap metal everywhere. Good night. Well, I mean, when you're going to put it all online, what better way to do it than here? And it looks like the back 40 Bruiser also has a bit of some front end damage. And it looks like he's able to get it fired back up. Looks like it's just cosmetic damage. It is just the body, just a little bit of the front clip. The grill is all mangled up. The bumper's mangled up. But luckily, with how the body is crumpled up, it looks like it's not going to really affect his vision too much as far as going on to the final round of racing. And we got both of our trucks here, our finalists, the back 40 Bruiser taking on Big Dooley. We're going to, real quick, we're going to try and pry the Beam Motorsports house truck off the stands there, so that way we're able to continue on with racing. And with a little bit of editing, thanks camera guy, we're able to come on back, and this is our final round of racing, showcasing the Gavril D Series Motorsport Spectacular, showing you guys the different variants that we have, that is coming, that is in the woodworks here at Beam Motorsports, with the variants of wheelbases and things to come with the Leafer mod. And again, we love our community. We have a very lively and active Discord where people like to voice and say what they want to see or things that they remember from their childhood when it comes to the golden era of monster truck competition. And if you guys definitely want to take part in that, please be sure to head on over to BeamNG.drive, hit the Discord icon, and become of this awesome community of old school monster truck lovers. Anyway, this is our final round of racing with the B Supercharger, back 40 Bruiser, Big Dooley. Who is going to come on top? They both fly over the roller, soar across the first set of cars, and Big Dooley, a little cattywampus. But back 40 Bruiser was not able to get on the brakes in time and goes back into the concrete barricade right there next to what is left of the Beam Motorsports house truck. There is nothing but carnage and mangled sheet metal all over the edge of this arena. However, going from getting knocked out in the very first event here with the Class A Supercharger, Big Dooley comes out victorious here and with the Class B Supercharger, and he's going to back up and slowly slide off those crush cars somewhat gracefully. But there you have it, two of our most mangled messes of what is left of these trucks, with Big Dooley sitting loud and proud as your winner here at the St. Paul Civic Center. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Austin Spence. I was your host this evening. And again, if you want to come out and check out some of these mods, be sure to head over to BeamMotorsports.com, and we'll see you guys in the next one.